Now we can go ahead and work on our ears. The ear is composed from two pieces, the inner ear and the outer ear. Now with my body color yarn, my beige yarn, I'm gonna do the inner ear. That would be two of them. And we start with a chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We will work around the foundation chain, starting with the second chain from the hook, and we'll have 5 single crochets into the first 5 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 3 single crochets into the last chain. 1, 2, and 3. Now we will work on the opposite side of our foundation chain and have 4 single crochets into the next 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and into the last one we'll have an increase. So 2 single crochets into the last chain. This is how my first row looks like. I'm ready to go to my second one, and we will start the second row with an increase. This is my first single crochet, and now I place my stitch marker so I know where my row begins. And as I said, we start with an increase. We already have 1 single crochet. We're going to make another one into the same stitch to have the increase. Increase. Into the next 4 stitches we'll have 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Over the next 3 stitches we'll have 3 increases. So 2 single crochets into the same stitch for each increase. This is my first increase. My second increase. And my third increase. Over the next 4 stitches we'll have 4 single crochets. And into the last 2 stitches we will have 2 increases. This is my first increase. I'm gonna do one more and I will finish the round. So this is my second round. And we have 20 single crochets, 20 stitches actually. On round 3, so on the third one, we will have one single crochet increase, this is my first single crochet. Into the next stitch I will have an increase. So 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Over the next 4 stitches we'll have 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we will have one single crochet increase into the next one, into the next stitch, and repeat this 3 times. So in the next stitch I will have one single crochet, into the other one, into this one I'll have an increase. And I have to do this 2 more times. So one single crochet into this stitch, and into the next one I will have an increase. And let me do this one more time. One single crochet into this stitch, and into the next one I'll have an increase. Over the next 4 stitches we will have 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we will have one single crochet increase, repeat 2 times. So one single crochet into this stitch, into the next one we will have an increase. And I do this one more time. So one single crochet into this one, and then increase into the last stitch. So I finished row 3. You should have 26 stitches. You can double check that by counting them. We can go ahead to our last round of the inner ear, and that will be our 4th round. We will start with 2 single crochet increase. So we'll have 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches. This is my first single crochet. I'm gonna make one more, and into the next one, into the next stitch I will have an increase. Over the next 4 stitches we will have 4 single crochets, then 2 single crochets increase, and repeat that 3 times. So we'll do like this: one single crochet into the next 2 stitches, so 1, 2, and into the next stitch I will have an increase. I have to do this 2 more times. So again, 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and then into the next stitch we will have an increase. And I will do the exact same thing one more time. So 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and into this one I'll have an increase. Over the next 4 stitches we'll have 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we will have 2 single crochets, increase, repeat 2 times. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and into the next one we'll have an increase. In here we have an increase. I'm gonna do this one more time. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and into the last stitch we'll have an increase. By the end of this round, the 4th one and the last one actually, we should have 32 stitches. Now I can slip stitch into my very first stitch and cut the yarn. I will cut the remaining tail that I have in here as well. And this is how my first inner ear looks like. I need to make one more. This is how my 2 inner ears look like. Now we can go ahead and work on the outer ear, and I'm using this color yarn as I did on the body. Okay, so I'm using this color yarn for the outer ear. I'm gonna put this aside and go ahead and work on the outer ear. We will start with a chain 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We will work around the foundation chain, starting from 2nd chain from the hook, and we will do 5 single crochets into these 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Into the last chain we will have 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. We will continue working around the foundation chain, and over the 4 chains we will have 4 single crochets over the next 4 chains. So in here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Into my last chain I will have an increase. So 2 single crochets into this one. This is my first, and this is my second. I finished off my first row. Let's go ahead and work on our second row of our outer ear, and in here we will have one single crochet into the next stitch. I will place my stitch marker into my first single crochet, and into the same stitch I will have a bobble stitch. So let's yarn over, go into the same stitch and pull through 2 loops, yarn over, go into the same stitch and pull the yarn through 2 loops. Now I have 3 on my hook, yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull over the 2 loops. Now I have 4, I have to do 1 more into the same stitch, pull through 2 loops, and now since I have 5 loops on my hook, I'm ready to finish my bobble stitch. Grab the working yarn and go through all 5 loops. Now the next stitch will be 1 single crochet. I'm gonna make 1 single crochet. Into the next one I will have a bobble stitch. Into the next stitch, okay? I'm gonna make a bobble stitch. I'm gonna do this one more time. So into the next stitch I'll have 1 single crochet, and into the next one I will have a bobble stitch. Okay, what I'm going to do next is have 1 single crochet and 1 bobble stitch into the same stitch and repeat this 3 times. So I'm gonna make 1 single crochet into this stitch, and into the exact same stitch I'm gonna make 1 bobble stitch. This might be a little bit tricky to do because it's a little bit crowdy with stitches, but it's not impossible. I have 5 on my hook, I can finish my bobble stitch. Okay, I'm gonna do this 2 more times. So 1 single crochet into the next stitch, this one, and into the exact same stitch I'm gonna make a bobble stitch. Let me do this one more time. So 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and into the same stitch I'm gonna make a bobble stitch. Okay, now we will have 1 single crochet into the next stitch and 1 bobble stitch into the other stitch, and we repeat that 2 times. So in here we will have 1 single crochet, and into the next stitch we will have a bubble stitch. And we will do this one more time. So one single crochet into the next stitch, okay, and into the next one we will have a bubble stitch. For the last two stitches we will have one single crochet and one bubble stitch into the same stitch, and repeat that 2 times. So we go into this next stitch and have one single crochet, and into the exact same stitch we will make a bubble stitch. Again, it's tight. So I've made one. I need to make one more. One single crochet into this next stitch. It's right here. And into the same stitch I'm gonna make my last bubble stitch. So this is my second row. We should have 20 stitches. I wanted to make it look a little bit bubbly. We could have done it as the inner ear without bubbles, but I wanted to have this detail. Let's go forward to our third row of the outer ear, and in here we will have one single crochet increase, this is my first single crochet. Into the next stitch I will have an increase. In here I will have an increase. Over the next 4 stitches we will have 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then one single crochet increase, repeat 3 times. One single crochet in this stitch, and then an increase into the next stitch. I have to do this 2 more times. So one single crochet into this one, and then an increase into the next stitch. Let me do this one more time. So one single crochet into this stitch, and then increase into the next one. Over the next 4 stitches we will have 4 single crochets, and then 1 single crochet increase over the next 4 stitches. So 1 single crochet into this one, and then an increase into the next one. One single crochet into this stitch, and then increase over the last stitch. I finished row 3. I'm ready to go to my last row of the outer ear, and this is row 4, and we have 2 single crochets increase, this is my first stitch. I place my stitch marker, so 2 single crochets increase into the next stitch. Over the next 4 stitches we will have 4 single crochets, then we will have 2 single crochets increase, repeat 3 times, this is my increase. Let's do this 2 more times. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, increase into the next stitch, and again the last time, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and in here we have an increase. Over the next 4 stitches we will have 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we will have 2 single crochets increase, repeat 2 times. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and into the next one we will have an increase. I'm gonna do this one more time. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and into the last one we will have an increase. I finished row 4. This is how my outer ear looks like, and we can get ready to continue with the outline. That's how we're gonna get our ears together, like this. So the inner ear and the outer ear, and we will crochet them together. I have finished my outer ear. I have 32 stitches all around. Now we will work on joining the inner ear with the outer ear. What we will do is having both ears facing the wrong side together, like this. So this is the wrong side, and this is again the wrong side, or the back side, I don't know how to say it. And I placed them together, and I will make the outline for the ear, and that's 32 single crochets through both layers of inner and outer ear. I'm gonna show you how I do it. I'm gonna take out my stitch marker and continue working with outer ear yarn. I'm gonna go through first stitch of my outer ear and one of the stitches of the inner ear, grab my yarn through both layers and have my very first stitch of the outline. I place a marker, and then I continue doing this all the way around till I get to my 32 single crochet. This is my first. Second, third, fourth. I'm gonna stop counting now, you can do that. I will place this yarn tail under between my inner and outer ear so it won't be in my way. I have two more. And I finished my outer and inner ears outline. Okay, this is how my ear looks like. Now I can slip stitch into my next stitch and cut the yarn, leaving a long tail for sewing. So this is how my ear looks like. I've made one more. You should do the same. You should have 2 of the ears done, and here we have the head. We're gonna do something like this. Place them together like this, sew them, and have them on our bubbles. Don't know if I can show you how it looks like this. Let's now start working on our eyes. I've already made one, so it would be easier to explain what I did. We will start with black color yarn. Then we are gonna change color into blue all the way till here. And then we're gonna change color to white and start from over here to here. And on the last round, we will do this part over here. So for this phase, you need 3 color yarns. It's very important to have blue and white. The middle one, you can choose any color yarn you prefer. So let's see how it goes. We will start with the black color yarn. We're gonna start with the magic ring and 7 half double crochets into it. This will be our first round. 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 3 half double crochets, 4 half double crochets, 5 half double crochets, 6 half double crochets, and 7. We can go ahead and close the circle. I know on black yarn it's pretty hard to see the stitches. You should have 7 because we've made 7 half double crochets. And now we're gonna do a single crochet, but actually we're gonna change color. That's why we're making it. So instead of finishing our single crochet with the black yarn, we will take the blue yarn or the color you chose to use, like this. So I've made the single crochet only to be able to change colors. Okay, and now on the second round we will have 1 half double crochet and 1 half double crochet increase. Repeat that 3 times. We will yarn over, go into the next stitch. Don't know if you can see it. It's very hard to work on black, but go into the next available stitch and have your first half double crochet. Into the next stitch, we will have a half double crochet increase. So that would be 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. Into the next one, again 1 half double crochet, and then 1 half double crochet increase into the next stitch. Okay, and we do this one more time. So 1 half double crochet into the next stitch and 1 half double crochet increase into the other one. Okay, we will have 1 unworked single crochet over here, 1 unworked stitch, 1 unworked black stitch over here, and we leave it like that. This is how we want it to be. We can cut the blue yarn. We don't need it long. This is how I do it. And we can even go ahead and cut some of these yarns that we are not using, these short ones. So we will make some knots and then cut them off so they won't be in our way. And then we can continue with row 3 in the white color yarn. Okay, so this is one, and then I'm gonna do something with this one as well, since I don't like it in here. Okay, let me cut them. Okay. On this one I will keep long because I will work my 4th row in it, the black one. Now let's grab the white yarn to make this part over here. This will be our 3rd round. Okay, we will attach the white yarn onto our very first blue stitch over here. And here is what I do. I will chain 1. This doesn't count as a stitch, so I will go into the same stitch again and have my first single crochet. This one do count as a stitch. And with white yarn I will have 1 single crochet increase, repeat 4 times. This is my first single crochet. Into the next stitch I will make an increase, so 2 single crochets into the same stitch. I need to do this 3 more times. 1 single crochet, into the next one I will have an increase. This is my increase. I will do this 2 more times. 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets into the same stitch to have the increase. Let's do this 1 more time. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet increase, and then you will have 1 more blue stitch over here, and in here we are going to slip stitch our white yarn. We can cut the yarn, the white yarn, leaving a long tail for sewing, really long, because this part will be sewn on the head with white yarn. Okay, so this is how it looks till now. What we should do next is this black part. I've called it row 4. I find it the most difficult to do because you can't actually see the stitches you're working on. I'm going to show you step by step, and hopefully you'll have a good result. So let's see how we do it. I will leave it here to see it. Now let's grab our black yarn and go into our last white stitch. Let's grab the black yarn here and have chain 1. This won't count as a stitch. Be sure not to have this one too tight. Okay, and I will go into the same stitch and have my first single crochet with the black yarn. This does count as a stitch. Now we should do, in the next 4 stitches, we should have 4 increases. As I previously said, you can't actually see stitches, so it's gonna be like, I don't know, blindly do them. I feel like I will go, for example, in here and have an increase. So 2 single crochets into the same stitch. This is my first increase. I'm gonna go in here and have 2 more. Okay, and then into the black stitch I will have again an increase. This is my third increase, and one more right here next to the white. This will be my last increase. We are going to finish the round with a slip stitch into the very first white stitch that we began round 3. This is a slip stitch. We can go ahead and cut the black yarn, leaving a long tail for sewing and adding some other details on the face of Bubbles. Now it's stuck. Okay. And this is how my eye looks like. This is how it should look like. Let's start sewing, actually pinning the eyes on the head. This will be my back part and the front part. Let's pin them and then sew them on. I should do it like this. So let's say 1, 2, 3 rows on the body color yarn will be between 1, 2, 3 and 4 row. I will put a pin here. One here and one in here. So this is where I've pinned my first eye. I'm gonna do the same with the second. So again, between 3 and 4 row, counting on this color. 1, 2, 3, and in here. Let me see. I want to see the difference, the distance between these two. I think I should put them more closer to one, like this. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches between them. I will pin this one as well, and then I will take a look. Okay, so I have in here 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 stitches between my eyes, and then if I count here, 1, 2, 3, and in here as well, 1, 2, 3. Let's sew them on. Let's start sewing eyes onto the head. I'm working with my white color yarn now. And what I do is start somewhere. It's pretty hard with the pin here. Okay, so I succeeded in sewing the white part. I'm not gonna cut my white yarn yet because I'm gonna make some white details after I finish sewing the black part as well. Okay, let's continue with the white part now. Let's sew the other eye on. I'm starting again with my white thread. Now I can take my black yarn and start sewing this black part. Okay, so I've sewn my eyes. They're pretty big for this small face, but we're gonna take care and make it cuter. I've placed some pins for my eyebrows. It's gonna go through from here to here. The same in here. So I'm gonna grab my yarn. To here. Let's see if I like it first. Yeah, looks nice. Okay, and from here to here. Eyebrows. Let's now do some of the white part of the eye. So I'm gonna grab one of the white yarns. Okay. Let's see here. To here, and we're gonna do one more. I like to do one small and the other one to be bigger. See, like this. It doesn't always look right from the beginning, but I can just change it. Like this, yes. I find it nice. And now I'm gonna do the same thing on the other one, or something similar at least. Okay, and another one. For example, I don't like this one as much as on this one, so I want to redo this one. It's not hard to do that. Like this. Yes, I think this should be better. Let's just try it and see. Yes, much better. Now I finished with my white yarn. What I can do and what I like to do is make a knot between these two yarn tails, so I can hide them. So I made a knot, and now I'm just making it disappear. Okay, I will cut this remaining yarn. I'm using this black thread, making face details. I didn't like what I've tried with a lighter brown, so I'm using my black yarn. I'm going through here, and then one single crochet, one stitch distance from this nose part. Okay. And instead of going straight here, I'm gonna go one stitch before, and I'm not gonna finish it. I'm gonna go like this. Just go here, then one distance in here as well. Let's see if I like it. For me, I think it's a little bit too dark in here for the mouth, but after we will pin our ears and everything, I think it will look good. So with the body, This is how Bubbles' face looks like. She or he is pretty happy. Now I've pinned one of my ears with 3 pins just to see if I like the position, and I do like it. So I'm gonna start sewing this ear, and then I'm gonna pin the other one as well. I can leave my ear like this, or I can make it a little bit like this. Close it a little bit. This is how I like it. Yes, this is how I want it. Okay. This is the first ear. We should do the same with the second one. I've pinned my second ear somehow like this to have it even, and now I'm gonna sew it. I like to make knots to be sure they won't come out. And then hide the yarn tail. Okay. Lots of bubble stitches. And a smiley face on our bubbles. We are almost there. The next step will be to sew head onto the body, and after that to sew arms. So let's start with the first one, sewing our head to the body. Let's start sewing our head to the body. So first, see if you like its position and then start sewing. If you need, remember to stuff your toy before finishing. I think I need some stuffing in mine. I had to stuff my toy a little bit more before finishing attaching the head to the body. So now I can continue. This is how I attached my body to my toy. Sometimes I think I like to have it like this, so I can sew my toy a little bit more in here to have the head bent like this. Let's now attach the arms and finish our bubbles. I like to place them a little bit like this, so not all the way on the side. We can do that also because it looks good. I like them a little bit on the front part. Okay. It's pretty hard to film and sew arms at the same time. So much color in such a small toy. The other ones that I've made are a little bit bigger because on the white one I used acrylic yarn and that made her bigger. And on the plush yarn, obviously I've used a 3.5mm hook and that made my bubbles really big. Let's see. Okay, so one of the arm is ready. We can go ahead and do the same on the other side. This is our bubbles. I love the yarn I chose to work with. I like all its details. I find it a success. Now I'm very curious how yours look like. If you like it, if if my tutorial was easy to understand and to follow. I would love a feedback so I know what to improve into my next videos, into my next tutorials.